We got into an argument one time early on in our relationship, and you said you walk out that door, it might be locked when you come back.
Yeah.
And that might be it. And I think that was like
ass. I really wanted to say that.
I know. You're really exploring yourself with this podcast.
I feel like I'm finding my voice.
I mean, okay, I think you found it a long time ago. What is up? Welcome to the Freedom in Scrubs podcast. I'm Erran.
I'm Kim.
And together we are your favorite hilarious, real and raw.
And married. Hello.
Yes, and married travel couple.
This is the show where we are going to take you behind the scenes and share all of our crazy stories, lessons, and experiences from living on the road for the past 7 years as healthcare travelers.
Yeah.
We pretty much lived out of a Jeep with our pug, Mimi LaRue.
Yeah. So let's get this show on the road. Get it
on
the road because the show's about life on the road.
So clever.
Welcome back to the Freedom in Scrubs podcast.
Hit it, Babo. I really wanted to say
Oh my god, okay.
For those of you guys who don't know, Aaron's first name is Bobby.
Oh.
A little fun fact for our
I've
pod
gone
listeners.
36 years of my life where only a minimal amount of people know that.
Own it. I know when people find out, they're like blown away. They're like, what do you mean your name is Bobby? Like you've been lying to everybody this whole time.
I have the most difficult, easiest name. It's Bobby Erran Gibson. But here's the deal. I go by Erran, which is spelled Erran. And then when, like, the first day of school used to trigger me really bad because they would say, is Bobby Gibson here? And all the kids would start laughing because I'd say, it's me. But then I'd have to say, but I go by Erran. And then I'd have to spell it for him. And then G-I-P, not G-I-B for our last name. So
all the drama.
It took forever.
I just wanted people to know that your name was Bobby.
I'm triggered.
It's freaking hilarious.
I'm triggered. But she said...
I want to call you little baby Bobby.
She says to me before we start this podcast, you can start it, but I have something to say. And I was like, okay, so that's what it was? Hit it, Bobo?
Hit it, Bobo.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Freedom in Scrubs podcast. I'm super stoked about today's episode. It's a Ask Kim and Erran G episode. And this is something that we thought would be fun because we get so many questions people ask us, like random stuff, like not only about healthcare traveling, but just about, you know, our relationship, life, money, like our fun. We travel the world. We do all kinds of like really cool stuff.
We take a lot of time off.
We take a shit ton of time off. We're entrepreneurs, right? We work together. We're building a business together. Like, so we get all kinds of like really juicy questions. And so we thought it would be fun where once a month, so one episode a month. That's what I'm thinking. One episode a month. We're just going to pull like 3, maybe 4 questions, depending on how quickly we go through them.
We'll see how this goes.
And just answer y'all's questions.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Actually, I just thought of this. Like, shout out to our community.
Oh my God.
Right? We just started this podcast. So Kim and I were like, let's throw out an email to our community. Let's get on our Facebook group to our community and ask them, hey guys, what are some questions you have for us? We literally were flooded with questions that we probably have.
I have like a whole Google Doc.
4 months of episodes. So shout out to you guys. We absolutely love you. You know who you are.
You are what make this community. You are what make, you know, Erran and I want to show up and speak and talk and share. And we are so grateful for you guys. And
just a cool feeling to like put something out there and then people come back like
they're excited. Like it's not like cricket.
And we sent this email before this podcast is even launched.
Yeah. So if you are listening and you want to ask us any juicy questions, you can go to freedominscrubs.com and go to Ask Kim and Erran G, and that you can literally ask us anything. If those of you guys who do know us, and if you don't know us, we're going to tell you. We are complete open books. We talk about anything and everything. We hold nothing back. we get down and dirty and get into all the juicy Lucy stuff.
And
so
I love that because
don't hold back.
You know, social media paints this beautiful picture of like life is great, life is good, and we all know that that's not real.
Yeah.
And we're not about that. And so we've always said that if we were going to put something out there, then we need to be raw and real, and we always have been.
And vulnerable, yeah. So head over to freedomandscrubs.com, ask us anything.
We'll check out all about us.
Yeah, we'll be pulling random questions, and while you're there, go ahead and leave us a review and subscribe to the podcast because that means the world to us. We want this podcast to get out to as many people as possible. So the more reviews that we have and support, the more iTunes will push it out and share it with more people.
And the more community we build.
Yeah, 100%. So thank you guys for being here. And you want to just dive in? Do we have anything else we want to say? You want to just dive into the first question?
Yeah, let's go. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I will say that the next time we will ask, I'm going to say if you guys leave a question on Ask Kim and Erran G, put your name if you want your name to be read. And if you want to be anonymous, put anonymous. Because we were going back and forth. Like, I feel like I like to give shout outs to the people that left us questions.
I know. And I wrote the whole Google Doc and I didn't add anyone's names because I didn't know if people wanted it to be anonymous or not. So I just left everybody's names off. But yeah, I think moving forward, we're going to keep names unless you want us to keep you anonymous, and we totally will.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Okay, so
we're easy that way.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
this question
number 1.
This question's your question. So I think I should start out because I don't have much to say about it. But the question is, how do we plan what we're going to do in each area we are, i.e. like for sightseeing, right? And again, a little backstory for a lot of you that don't know, we are healthcare travelers, which means we move about the country every 3 to 6 months. We're in a new place, so we're very nomadic, very mobile, but we also take a lot of time off and go travel the world when we can because we are self-employed healthcare professionals, so we work when we want.
Holla.
Whoop whoop.
Amen, Babo.
I know. So okay, that's not gonna stick. Please, it triggers me.
As Babo.
It triggers me.
All right.
You know that.
Okay,
It doesn't put me in a good mood.
All right, I'm sorry.
So anyway, how do we plan? How do we go about it?
Okay.
So I want to say Kim's the master at this. And one thing in a relationship is to understand. So guys, understand what your wife, significant other, girlfriend is good at and stay the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Really.
That's really great advice. And vice versa. Know your strengths, know what you're good at, and handle your business. Like we don't need to be in each other's lanes. Like,
but you do say to me, you used to be so good at planning. Like, I want you to plan. I want you to plan things.
Well, you can plan things off of the list that I create.
I'm a spontaneous planner.
Right.
Kim is a detailed, like, go at it. Yeah. So I'll turn it over to you.
I'm very type A. I love lists. I love schedules. I love organization.
She's institutionalized.
I thrive on that. Yeah, but I feel like...
But you're very open soul, too. I don't get it.
I'm a little bit of both. I like to believe I'm the perfect match. Like, God. If I'm just being honest. Like, I'm totally...
Confidence goes a long way, I guess.
Organized, and I love a good plan, but I feel like there's also that side of me that is... You have to be flexible to be a traveler, right? Like, I'm living life in motion. I'm always on the go. I don't know where the hell I'm going in the next couple of months. So I feel like that's really helped me... like balance out a little bit more because I also am like free flowy and I'm a free spirit and I like to go with the flow and I like to be spontaneous too. So I feel like I'm a good mix.
But you did say that that's one lesson that you've learned from traveling.
That's true.
Personally.
That is very true.
It's helped you let go of the reins, I think you said.
Yeah, that's very true. I have calmed down a couple of notches as being a traveler.
You have.
Still totally
I give you props.
A little bit
You're a little
wound
tight.
up tight. Yeah. But I'm definitely more chill. You know what I'm saying?
That's
my chill voice.
That's my game.
Now, you are very chill, very so to put into context, like
we're going to get to the question in a minute.
Yeah. Tangent. So, I'm very much like, hey, Saturday night, would you like to do dinner and a movie and let's go try this new place for dinner and let's go here? Like, let's plan an evening out.
Now, mind you, Kim's already researched the restaurant. She has a list in her phone. She has like an order of 1 to 10 based off of ratings, people's advice.
Oh, yeah. I've got all
the food, everything.
So I'm like, let's plan something off of the list that I have, and let's go Saturday night. Great. Everybody feels good about that. Now, Erin's the kind of person, and I actually admire this about you, and I hope one day I can be more like that. But like, we could just be sitting around the house watching Drivers, Dine-Ins, and Dives, and he could be like, hey, do you want to get dressed and like go have dinner, or like go out to Chico, or I say Chico because we're living by Chico right now, or like go do something. And I'm very like, that wasn't planned. That wasn't part of that. No, like that wasn't part of our plan, where you can just like get up and go.
Or I'll change the plans.
And I think that's cool.
To where you'll be like, let's do this for the business. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just go out. Like, let's just get dressed and go and drive somewhere and see where we end up.
Yeah. And that gives me sweaty palms. It does. But I'm trying to get better at it.
You're better at it.
I feel like we balance each other out.
We do.
In a really good way.
Because I've been actually trying to be more plan oriented.
Yeah, we have a calendar, we have a whiteboard. You get your cookies off to that whiteboard.
I love
that
the
calendar.
Whiteboard.
I see you, boo.
Because I'm a very detail oriented person.
Yeah.
I like to have the details.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
How do we go about our sightseeing? How do we go about this?
So I want to start by saying this. Like, one of the coolest things about being a healthcare traveler is that because we are only in one place for a couple of months, it really does put a fire under your ass to want to get out there and explore and take in as much as you can in that area. And you know that your time is limited, right? So I think that's the difference of people who live in the same place their whole life for a long time, is that there's always that, oh, we'll go next week, or we'll go next month or next year. And that never comes, right? Because you have unlimited time. So there's no sense of urgency. With travelers, where we get in and we get out. And if you're like us, like, we love my favorite part about traveling is exploring and taking in the new area I'm living in. That's the fun part. That's why we do what we do, and 100%. That's fun.
And you're right, because nowhere ever do you get the chance to immerse yourself in a culture in the United States, get paid to do it, and really feel what it's like to live there.
Yeah.
And see all the perks, all the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
And you can really feel it out, like to where you and I could literally sit down and have a conversation and be like, where do you want to live? Where would you want to settle down? Although that closes our throats. But it's like we could really have a good conversation and really have good information on why.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that, because you get a little taste of all these different areas, just like you said. And the difference between traveling and being on vacation is that we really are here for a long enough time to like settle in and feel like we live here.
We have a routine.
Like, this is our life. And so...
Well, it's funny, you can tell... What are the drivers, like if we take a Lyft or an Uber?
Oh my God.
What do they say? Every contract.
Every time. And not even just the drivers and like the Uber people, like the people that we work with, they're always like, y'all have done more than I have done, way more than I have done. And I've lived here my entire life. Right? And like we end up telling them about places. I was just telling the people I worked with the other day about Grana in Chico. If you're in Chico, check Grana out. It is this amazing restaurant where everything is fresh.
The staff was amazing.
They don't even have a freezer.
They don't have a freezer. Like, that was crazy.
Everything is fresh, made from scratch, many changes every day.
In an Italian brick oven.
Yes.
One brick oven makes everything.
Yeah. But it was like, I was telling them about these places, which is just funny because they've lived here their whole life.
And granted, we're big on hiking and eating.
Yeah. Hiking, eating, any kind of like a local beverage.
Yeah.
Whether it be wine, beer, even coffee, like something that's like local to the area. Like, we love to dive into anything that's like special for the area. So yeah, food, beverages.
We should do an episode on like the coolest things we've seen in the different cities, places to go.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah, anyway,
so this is what I do. The first thing that I do is obviously like my second husband is Mr. Google. Like, I live on him. Like, I literally.
Okay.
Yeah, let's scratch that. But I always start there with anything that I do. Like, you can type anything in and get so much information. So I always like to kind of start there and see like what are like some of the best hiking places or camping places or just things like that are kind of familiar for the area.
Is there any particular sites you end up on when you go to Google? Because like for me, I find out that like you're better at typing direct into the search
Yeah.
the words that you need. And I think that's a skill.
Yeah, because it's like best hiking in Oroville or place to swim, best place to swim in the river or best place to float in the river. I'm using this as an example because this is where we currently are. And like what you need comes up. Like you can search and click through things and find out what you need.
Because I always go to TripAdvisor.
I don't like TripAdvisor. I mean, it's not that I don't like it. I don't usually go to it. Thrill List is a really good one if you're in a city. Mm-hmm. And that's primarily food, but that's a great place for...
night activities and stuff?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like outdoor stuff. It's primarily food. It is. Food and brunch and beverages and things like that.
Well, that's where TripAdvisor has the outdoor stuff.
Yeah. So that's a good place,
Gives me an idea. It's something to type in.
Yeah. And so I always get on the Google. And then one thing that I love to do is when I start a contract... I love just talking to the local people because the people I work with, right, in the department, because it's a good icebreaker because it creates conversation, right? People love to talk about
their city.
Their city and where they're from and what to do, right? People love where they're from, most people. And so they want to tell you all the things. People love
giving advice and then you going and being like, I love that.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, for sure. So I have a note, like the notes in your phone, and I just hit everybody up that will listen, and I'll ask like different people the same questions because everybody has their own idea of what the quote unquote best is.
That's good.
And I have a free running, just like an open-ended notes in my phone, and I'm just writing down everything that people are telling me. And so I get lists going, and then when Erran and I do have time off, we'll refer to the list and say, okay, like, do you want to go camping? If so, let's check out the list. Do you want to go to dinner tonight? Let's check out the list. So we get what we're going to be doing with our time off of the list, and then we go through and just check them off, which is another one of my favorite things.
Yeah, as you can see, Kim has a plan and like a what do you call it? A philosophy, what's it called?
I have a system.
A system.
I have a system. And so, yeah, talking to people, locals, and again, even like talking to people, if you go to a restaurant, asking your server, asking the people that you're getting coffee from in the morning. I will literally talk to anybody and ask them. The guy at the gym, we signed up for the gym and we're talking to him as he's signing us up like, hey, what are some good restaurants? Oh, where should we go? What should we do? And you're just getting a list of things that are going on, and then you can sort through the list on your contract and start going through the things that you want to do.
But it is a really fun way to talk to people.
I love it.
Right? Like it literally is an instant connection of like, where's some good place to go around here? Yeah. Oh, you guys are new? Like, what do you do? Oh, like, we're healthcare travelers. Oh, what is that? And it just like opens this door that the guys at the gym were like, hey, what's up? Like,
yeah. And people love a good healthcare traveler. Like, they think that we're so interesting.
Exotic.
And honestly, we are. Like, we live very interesting lives. A lot of people can't wrap their minds around, you move every 3 months. Wait, you live out of your Jeep, essentially, or everything you own fits in your Jeep, and you are just here temporarily. Like, people don't get it. Mm-hmm. And then when you tell them about it, they're like, oh my God, this is like the coolest life ever.
My favorite thing is I get patients that say, what, you can't hold a job somewhere?
Oh, Lord.
I'm like,
they don't get it.
I choose this life because of the freedom.
We ain't about full-time life.
The way to grow. I get to learn all new ways to do things.
Yeah.
Like, it's just cool.
Yeah. So,
kind of wraps that one up, huh?
So yeah, that's kind of, and the last tip I'll give too is something that I like to do, especially now in this digital age of all these Facebook groups and Instagram and all of that. I go into the Facebook group. So our Facebook group, Travel Life, Freedom and Scrubs, is such a good group. And asking the people, hey, I'm taking a contract in San Francisco. Like, where should I go? What should I see? And people love to be like, oh my God, I was there and I did this, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's how we get a lot of stuff too. Mm-hmm. Because travelers are sharing other things that they've done together with the people. So I think that the Facebook groups are a really good resource.
I agree.
And then the other thing is hashtag on Instagram. So like hashtag Lake Tahoe, hashtag San Francisco, hashtag whatever. And you can see what people have done. in those areas. So you can see where people have taken cool pictures or they've gone and gotten something cool to eat, whatever. But it's a really great resource to kind of see what's happening in the area that you're in.
That's a good one. I've never known that.
Ooh, see? Teaching you all the things.
Love that.
You taught me something on the last one. Now I mean, we're just learning and growing every day together. I love this.
Yes.
Okay. Question number 2. Do you want to read it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. How has traveling affected your ability to have deep friendships and accountability with people outside of your marriage? And I thought this was a really great question.
This is a fantastic question, and it's actually something that I've struggled with, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. I had the understanding that, that we are healthcare travelers, so we're going to be in an area for a short amount of time. And how do you really build friendships in that short amount of time? But then looking at it, and I just do feel that I've learned that friendships are about quality, not quantity. And a lot of times in relationships in our lives, we end up spending time with people that are just kind of going through the motions, just like I'm here, like I showed up, like I'm spending time with you, but there's not much quality there.
Yeah.
And so I really do feel that, we're kind of moving into that season where we really want to have that solid group of friends.
I think like honestly, this is something that we struggle with. We were actually just having this conversation about really wanting to have more community, and we have a beautiful community online, and we have people that we are connecting with, and we meet people wherever we go, and that's great. But really, it's when you are moving around from place to place to place to place to place, it's definitely different than when you're just living in the same place and you have the same friends and you go to the same place and or this you're connecting with them once a week. And Erran and I are a little bit different in the way that we both are working and we also have a business. And so when we are not working, we put our extra time that we have into our business and building our business and showing up for our community, right? And so if we didn't have a side business, I feel like it would be much easier to say yes to social things, which a lot of times we're in a season right now where we're working really hard and we are finding ourselves saying no to social things instead of yes. But that's just where we are right now. But I believe that relationships and friendships are about the time that you put into them, the effort that you put into them. So you can easily make friends in a few months, right? And if you are showing up for those friendships and you are saying yes to things and you are putting yourself out there and you are connecting with people that are like-minded and that you just, you have fun with and it feels easy, I totally think that you can make friends as travelers. I see travelers doing it all the time. So I think it's doable, but it is different because then you're moving on.
Well, I think, again, it comes down to what's important in your life.
Yeah.
Right? What do you value?
Yeah.
And you really have to align with that value. So, for instance, we have some amazing friends that are lifelong friends that I can't wait to see when I can, that we've made on the road.
Yeah, totally.
And so we do have a community of people, but we are travelers, so we bounce. And your normal lives kind of take you apart a little bit, but the true friendships are the ones that you can meet back up and you pick up where you left off, right?
Exactly.
So you have to understand, as a traveler too, I understand what I'm in, what my life brings. And do I think that every year I'm always going to be going over people's houses for barbecues and that's going to continue for the rest of my life? No, I understand that we're going to be leaving here soon.
Yeah.
And so you try to have as much quality time as you can with those people, that when you do leave, you remain friends, you remain in contact, you meet up once a year maybe, but you have to put that extra effort. It's not just going to be that easy, I just know that I can call Joe and his wife and we can go over there for a barbecue for the rest of our lives. So we do as much as we can when we're here and try to cultivate that relationship, but it's also understanding of what's important to you.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, like anything else, you stay in contact. Social media makes this so easy. It's there's people that I may not talk to every day. We're not in each other's day-to-day life, but because of social media, we're always up to date with what's going on, like what's happening with each other. Like, and I love that. So I think, but not just using social media to stay connected, but taking that time, reaching out, jumping on the phone. I'm somebody who is so guilty of this. I hate talking on the phone.
Oh, me too.
I'm a texter. I do not like talking on the phone. I make time to talk to my sister, my mom, and my stepdad, and like a couple other people. But other than that, like, I don't like it. But if I got better at that, I would probably connect with people more, right?
Mm-hmm. I think, it's fun. It's like what I've been noticing is, and we're not talking about posting on somebody's comments in Facebook, or it's literally like we do a lot of stuff through direct message, like Facebook Messenger. Like you can really have some conversations back and forth and just stay in touch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just as simple as, hey, thinking of you. Hope everything is well. Let's get on the phone sometime.
I just had one of my good friends, remember Christine from the Bay Area?
Yes.
Absolutely loved her. She and I just, those people, again, I don't think it's like how long you've known somebody. It's about, like, you have these soul connections with people where you can just meet them a couple times and be like, oh my God, we're like sisters. Like, it gets deep. Yeah, it gets deep super quick, and you just connect on so many levels. She was one of those people for me, and I haven't lived in the Bay Area in years, and we don't talk all the time. We'll text back and forth once in a while, but she just reached out actually today, which is so funny, and she's like, let's meet in Sacramento. It's kind of halfway for us, and like, let's catch up. And she is somebody that I know I will go and catch up with, and it will be so fun and easy and comfortable, like nothing has passed. So it's definitely possible to create really deep friendships in a short amount of time when you have those types of connections and you put the time and the effort into it while you're there.
It's funny.
While you're in it.
It's funny because Dylan, who's big in the travel healthcare, world, like we were talking when we met up in San Diego, and he says, I'm not a big phone person, so I'm not just going to call you in small talk just to do it.
Yeah.
But know that, like, I deeply care about what you're doing, and I can't wait to see you. And that was, like, something that we, like, connected on, because I was like, dude, I feel the same way. And every time Dylan and I get around each other, it's like we just never let go. And we met a couple years ago.
Right.
And we've never spent more than, a weekend together?
Right. You guys just connect. There's people that you just connect with, and I love that. And I think as a traveler, one of the cool things is like, because we're moving around and we're meeting all different kinds of people, you're running into people and meeting people that you would never meet in life, right? And so we get these opportunities to meet people that we're just like, oh my gosh, like, you're like my soul sister, and like, I don't even know you, but like, let's just hang out. And so I love that part of it. And I think, again, just going back to like, the honesty of this is that this is something that Erran and I are currently working on and wanting to get better at, and wanting for ourselves to make more time for it, because we know, like anything, it's what you put into it, you will get out of it. And we have been in a season that we have really been focusing on other things, and our social life has taken a back seat.
Absolutely.
Because you can't do everything. And for us, our business is really important to us.
It's what we love.
It's what we love. It's my favorite thing in the world to do.
I took a day off today.
Yeah. So we could
and
podcast.
Literally people were like, go do something fun. And I was like, I'm working on our business. Like, we're doing podcast episodes. Like, I'm so excited. We went to the gym and then came home and started shooting podcast episodes.
Yeah,
like,
and we're like happy as clams.
So excited. Best day ever.
Yeah, 100%. We love what we're doing, but our social life has taken a back seat because we say no to things we normally would say yes to if we had more time.
Correct.
So again, we'll end it with what you put into it, you get out of it, and it's totally possible to make friends as travelers.
Well, I was just thinking it's really funny. One last thing and we'll cut it off. But Brent literally met him in person last year at TravCon.
Brent's one of our recruiters, you guys.
Right. So we had talked to him a couple times.
On the phone.
Yeah. Met him in person at TravCon, and literally we talk not even about jobs.
Yeah.
I literally just call him and we just talk, and we can't wait to see each other at TravCon this year. And that's a meaningful friendship. Literally with the whole, like, I don't know if you heard the last episode. We're going to get into another episode, but with Kim's rings. Yeah. Like, I literally called him and just was, like, talking to him about it. And he had such good, like, just advice. And it was just that soul connection.
You guys just connect.
Yes. And so you can make friends, but it might look a little different.
Totally. 100%. He lives in Texas. So we're not stopping over for a Sunday barbecue and a cup of coffee once a week. Like, it's so we're not in each other's lives, but when we see each other, it's real. I was trying to like hook him up last year with like all of my friends, like, oh my God.
He actually told me yesterday, he said, tell Kim that I'm taken, because he was like, let me call you back, I'm dropping off a date right now. So I asked him, first date, second date, third date, like, where you at? And he's like, we've been dating for a while, so tell Kim that she has to back off a little bit, but if something does happen, God forbid, and I'm single as a Pringle, which I really like, he said, tell Kim.
I feel single as a Pringle.
Okay, really? You keep saying that, and I feel like what you say you put out there, and I don't that.
Babe, I'm not single, Avi.
I know, but...
Put a ring on it.
Oh, I tried, but you like to hand them to homeless people.
That's too soon.
It is. Okay. Anyway, so I feel like we answered that really well, right?
Yeah, yes. And
hopefully.
And the more you travel, the more you find your people and realize the world is filled with so many like cool people that you can learn from, connect with, and become friends with people that you never thought like you would be friends with.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's what's really cool is when you get out of your like hometown clique. Yep. You're like, wow, I actually like these people a lot more. Yeah. They add a lot to my life, where I was just like, I've grown up with these people.
Yeah.
I thought this was what my friend type was. But now that I've grown, these people help me elevate. And as you get older, I think that your circle gets smaller.
100%.
And you really start to like, who are people that add value to your life when it comes down to making you better, making you feel better?
Yeah.
And so with traveling, you do have a really cool thing that you get to be really selective with who you bring into your life.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think we have these lifelong friends, and they're so important in so many ways. But like, just like anything, like, you grow in life, things change in life, like people change, like your values change, your interests change, right? And so you may not have the same relationship that you have, and you can still go home and you can have fun with them and you can whatever.
Yeah.
But like, is that depth still there? And the answer is a lot of times no, because you have grown apart,
Right. And that's okay.
That's I think we should do a whole episode on that, because it is an interesting thing when you like being home or away from home for so many years, and now when we come back, like we feel like aliens in our own home.
Yeah.
In our own hometown. And it's I think a lot of travelers feel that way. Like you can't connect with people anymore. Maybe you don't like, I don't know. We'll do a whole episode on that, because I think it's kind of an interesting
it's a good one.
Conversation to have
of
how
me, like deep in thought.
We're like aliens in our own home.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right. So
question number 3.
Does travel put any strains on the relationship?
I loved this question.
This was deep. I like it.
Do you want to start, or do you want me to?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Does travel put any strains on the relationship? I think there's like a couple different sides to this, but what I want to say first is that I honestly, in my heart of hearts, and I'm not trying to paint rainbows and butterflies here, but like my honest truth is that Erran and I have gotten so much stronger, like so much stronger as a couple. Like, I keep saying like,
you do.
I know.
It's your word.
I'm trying to get better at it. But I think traveling has been so far, we've lived so far out of our comfort zones, and so much has come up for us while we've been traveling, and we have grown so much. Like, I'm talking individually. So we have grown so much. We have worked on ourselves. We have worked on our confidence. We have worked on becoming better versions of ourselves, right? And because of that, we could only be stronger as a unit. And I think that when we started traveling, that really kicked off that whole life for us.
It started rough though.
It started, but that forced us to really look at things and want to get better, and want to, like, you learn that as a traveler, your problems are going to follow you wherever you go.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Like, your problems at home, you're not going to out travel them, right? And so we started to have the same issues, and it allowed us to kind of work on ourselves. And so I think we don't have strains. I think it really actually made us a stronger unit, because it was just you and I. We're ride or die. It's you and I together. There's no outside influence. It's just us.
And I think I want to add to that, because you really have to understand that nowadays I feel that, like, for instance, when I get patients and they're like, it's my 65th wedding anniversary, like tomorrow, I literally deeply feel like, congratulations. Like, that is a huge accomplishment, because you don't see that anymore, because I really feel like people just, it's easier to run from issues, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't work, we're done.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's one thing that we've really taken into account, that there's no running. Like, there's no done. If you say you're done, right? And like, there's no like crawling back, right? Because I think we got into an argument one time early on in our relationship, and you said you walk out that door, it might be locked when you come back.
Yeah.
And that might be it. And I think that was like...
ass. I really wanted to say that.
I know. You're really exploring yourself with this podcast.
I feel like I'm finding my voice.
I mean, okay, I think you found it a long time ago, but I've never had any problems with that.
True.
But like, I think coming into that understanding of like, we don't waver when it comes to that. So you either face a problem on and you fix it, or it's just going to keep melting away at you.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think with traveling, I feel like you and I make more decisions in a short amount of time that are massive than most couples make.
That's true.
In 5 years, right? So how it works too, for all of you that aren't healthcare travelers, I mean, literally come, 6 weeks before we're about to leave. Now that's 6 weeks before we become technically homeless, in a way. We have to decide where in the country we're going to go next. And how Kim and I do it is we both start taking interviews and we figure out what's the best fit. So within that 6 week period, we literally have to land a job, interview, find the job we want, research the town, pack up what we want to pack up, drive there, get there,
find housing,
like get a new gym, get a new routine, and kind of roll into that. Start new jobs. And so those decisions have to be made quick. So that means our communication has elevated, because you have to be clear with the way you're feeling, what you're feeling, how you're feeling. And it also leads me into the fact that we have noticed, to answer the question completely, most of our arguments happen the first 2 weeks of our new contract.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
When we're like transitioning into something new. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what's interesting? I just thought of this as you were talking, like some of the biggest stressors in life are moving to packing up, moving,
new jobs,
going to a new city, starting a new job. And like, those are some of the biggest stressors people face. And that is something that we do every couple of months. Like, that is actually our life, which is very interesting, because I'm not gonna it can be very stressful. Like, sometimes we don't know where we're going until a couple of weeks before we're going. And it's stressful, and it can feel overwhelming sometimes. And sometimes we're
consuming.
Just like, it is consuming. And it's easy to get burned out, we'll do a whole episode on traveler burnout, because it is real, people. We just went through this. But we're in all of these stressful moments. And like Erran said, I think these stressful moments have allowed us to be able to be better communicators, and to work together better. And I think that it can go one or two ways. I think traveling can be stressful, and it will either make or break a relationship, because it has to, because there's so many outside things that are coming in that aren't just easy, aren't just flowy, right? Like, it's not just like day to day. Like, there's a lot of things going on. And I think that through that, you'll either become stronger because you work at it and you get better, or you don't.
Well, and jokingly, like, I say jokingly, but now that I'm thinking about this, like, I say this a lot. If you want to test a relationship, plan a long vacation together. And see how you flow.
Talking about our friend?
Well, just anything. I've said that before. Like, you really feel like what it's like to really be, because it's easy to get lost in your day to day.
Yeah.
Right? I go to work, I go to the gym, I come home, I make dinner, I do this. Like, we both have our own lives. But when you take yourself out and go to a new place, and you have to exist together, and you're there together to figure out where we're going to go, what we're going to do, how we're going to eat, when we're going to get up, like all those things. Like, that's like really a test to how strong your relationship is.
Yeah.
And you're out of both of your comfort zones.
Yeah. And that's another point, is that it's just you and I. Like, you and I.
And Mimi.
Oh, and Baby Roo, of course. But like, we're like each other's ride or die. Like, at the end of the day, it's just you and I. I'm not popping over to my sister's house. Like, I'm not, like going, like what you do normally in a town. Like, you go do something, I go do something.
I go
like,
play golf with them. Yeah.
it's like we don't have that. It's just us. And we've always been besties, you know? Like, I feel like we've always been best friends, thank God, because if you are not friends with your partner, this is not the life for you.
Oh my God.
Because sometimes you may not meet anybody and it's just y'all, and you gotta like each other.
I thought
it's
of
important.
Well, you just brought that up because I thought of a new episode. Kim and I got into the tangent here. Hashtag tangent. Hashtag Kim and Erran G tangent. Right?
Oh, I love that.
It happens. But thinking the debate that we got into about what's stronger, love or like.
Ooh, that was heated.
That was heated debate.
But I felt like you came full circle on my side.
I get it.
Yeah, you
We don't want to give it away, but...
No, let's sell it. So...
oh my God, really? Okay.
Just real quick, and we'll end it on this. We'll just answer the 3 questions.
I like the 4.
That will be the next one.
Okay.
That will be like another one. But I think I think this is a great place to end it on. Because this was the conversation. You know, you obviously, when you're in a relationship, in a marriage, you say you love each other, right? We say it every single day. I love you, love you. It almost becomes just like passive in a way. Like, love you, bye, you know? And it's easy to say you love each other. And of course you do. But I think the real testament and a question to ask yourself, and what we've asked each other is like, do you really like each other? Do you like each other? And I thought like is way more powerful than love. And that's where things got heated.
Well, I come from the flip side where I don't tell people I love them. Like, I know people that literally have met me in the first 5 minutes and leave and say, love you.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, dude, like that dude, chick, woman, girl, man, whatever.
But we're talking about in a relationship,
I know,
not
but
a friendship.
I was using that as an example of people throwing love out very easily. I personally don't. So the people that I say I love you to, I mean it. And it's hard for me to just say it, right?
Yeah.
Just because we're family or just because we're this or that doesn't mean that I throw that word out very easily. So from my point of view, when you said that, love was the ultimate thing to me. But now understanding it, you can love somebody and not want to hang out with them.
Right.
Right?
And I think the likability is the most powerful thing inside of a relationship, because at the end of the day, in a relationship, you are going to have arguments. You're going to butt heads. You're not going to see eye to eye. You're going to get sick of each other, annoyed of each other. You're with each other all the time. Of course, all of those things.
We are with each other a lot.
Yes.
Like a tin can for like 3,500 miles.
Right. Of course, you're going to like rub each other the wrong way sometimes. And hopefully the right way.
The right way sometimes.
That's how we get out of it.
Yeah.
But when shit is hitting the fan, if you can come back to like, I genuinely like this human. This human is my friend. I like spending time with him. We have fun together. We laugh together. We share together. Like, that is so much more powerful and meaningful than just like, I love him. He's my husband. Like, you can always come back to the friendship. When things are hard, we always come back to the friendship.
Yeah.
You are my friend. At the end of the day, if you and I weren't married, we would still hang out. Like, I like you. I want to spend time with you. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what keeps a relationship fresh and keeps it going and moving and shaking, because without that, things die off, right?
You're right. Because how many times have you heard, oh, he's my baby daddy and I'll always love him.
Yeah.
But they don't like each other.
Right.
Right? And I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's really it. Because there are friends that, like, you're like, yeah, like, they're cool. Like, we have great things in common, but I just don't really like them that much. Right? Like, we don't have that connection. Right. And I genuinely have gotten to the point that I've even debated with myself. Is it because we've been married 9 years and we live this life to where, like, we're in a very small apartment all the time, and then we get into a car and we drive around, and like, we are separated from our comfort zones, from our families, from everything that we know. So we've had to build this. Or like, oh crap, where was I even going?
I
like
don't
what
know,
I was saying
but...
was like in maturity in marriage, but like I know what it was. I've gotten to the point where even when I go do things on my own, it doesn't feel as special.
Yeah.
Because I want you to be there to experience it, because I don't even like coming home and being like, I had a really good time and like, you should have been there and this was awesome and this and this. I just like, I wish you would have been there to experience it with me, because then I would have been completely relaxed and felt like, wow, like I have my person there.
Yeah. And I keep saying this, we're going to do an episode on this, because this is something we get asked all the time about how we met and like the beginning of our relationship. But what I wanted to say about it is that we started as friends. Like, we started as friends, and what made me fall in love with you, right, is the fact that like, I liked you so much, and you were somebody who I instantly felt connected with. I felt like I could be myself with, that I have never felt that way in my life with any man. And I was like, I just like him. He's just fun and he's cool. And I think starting a relationship is like, we were just friends.
Well, it took the pressure off.
It took the pressure off.
I wasn't trying to like impress you.
We were just ourselves from day one. And
we didn't even sit on the same couch for the first 3 months.
Yeah, I know. And that's the whole story. And we're going to get into it. But
it's a good point, though.
It is. It's like at the end of the day, we are married, but we are friends and we like each other. And you really need whoever you're traveling with, if it's a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a friend, like that person, like them, because things will get hard and shit will hit the fan. There will be stressors. You will be tested as traveling because it just brings so much shit up to the surface because you're always out of your comfort zone and you're always making the decisions and all the things that we've already talked about. And so always coming back to that deep-rooted likability, I think, is what has allowed us to really stay strong and actually be in a better place in our marriage than I think we've ever been.
Well, right. And we can, again, to answer the question directly, right? Does it put strains on the relationship?
Yes.
Like, yes, it does. But again, it comes back to, like, it's not always rainbows and butterflies. And we have some knockout dragouts that you either choose, like, I don't want to live this way because I don't like seeing my best friend hurting. Mm-hmm. And I want to be better, right? And so the strains have actually made us stronger.
Yeah.
Right? To answer the question directly?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. There are definitely strains and stressors. And it's how you choose to go about them. But yes, traveling definitely can put some strains on any relationship. It puts strains on relationships back home and strains on everything. So it's a part of it. But it's also a great opportunity to learn, grow, and be better. So
boom,
I think we kind of summed it up, right? We went
on
a little bit of a tangent there, but I think
it was valuable.
I love it because it's actually a conversation that we've had that it's like, and we've had it with friends too, and people are like, yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't think about it like that.
No, but we argued to the death for it.
We did.
I was strong,
you were like,
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. But then you came full circle as always because my point was valid.
Well, after very
we talked it out.
Yeah.
We were able to hear both sides of the conversation.
Correct. It's not just I don't want you just putting out there that
all right, because I didn't mean it like that.
He came around like the good husband he is.
Oh God, I hate when people say that.
I know.
I just want to say one more thing.
Oh no.
There is nothing worse to me than when people say, the wife's always right. Like, my one piece of advice is wife's always right. And like, to me, that's disgusting. And I absolutely think that is a horrible mantra to have in a marriage or any relationship. And I totally disagree with it.
Well, vice versa.
Yeah. Like, if you're wrong, I'm going to tell you. Mm-hmm. If I'm wrong, you're going to tell me, like, no, not everybody's like always right. We have conversations and communicate and like get to the bottom of whatever it is.
Think about how passive that is.
Stop saying that.
Think about how passive that is. Like, yes, dear.
Yeah, if you're
so condescending.
Oh, it is condescending, mm-hmm. And I think that's what like really like gets my panties in a bunch.
I can tell.
It's like it is. It's very passive. Like, don't. Oh, she's always right. Like, is that really the kind of relationship you want to be, that he's just appeasing you and he doesn't even really mean it? And I don't know. If you're doing that, you need to stop right now.
Well, it's funny because
a backbone.
That Kyle Cease guy that I was telling about in the last episode, he said, like, we sit there with people, like, you know, we get into an elevator and you see somebody attractive and you want to, like, talk to them. And what if you were just flat out honest and vulnerable and just said, hi, I'm really trying to think of something to say to you right now, but I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Right? But what do? We end up like, bags, huh? Where are you headed? And it's like...
Is that your voice for picking people up in an elevator?
I was trying to be dramatic.
Wow.
Right? But like, it starts off with this like crappy conversation instead of just being this honest, like true self, right?
Yeah, 100%. Be yourselves. Be
yourself.
All right.
Anyway.
We'll end it on that.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely, if you did enjoy this episode, screenshot it, right? Share it with your friends. Go on and leave us a review, subscribe, do all the things.
Okay, you just totally tapped into your announcer voice. Why do you do that when you're like like wrapping something up, like make sure you like and subscribe and hashtag. Like it's so intense. Was
that your announcer voice?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It was.
So let's just say it real. If
you enjoyed the episode, please
go to freedomandscrubs.com and please leave a review, subscribe, and take a picture and hashtag Freedom and Scrubs and share it on a story. We love seeing that you guys are listening and enjoying and taking away.
Give us some comments. What'd you think? Let us hear you. We want to hear you guys.
We want to hear you.
You're hearing us. We want to hear you.
Yeah, this is a two-sided conversation.
Darn right it is. All right.
All right, now
we're out.
See ya.
Deuces.